Alright, so this morning we're going to be taking off the exhaust manifold because I've ordered a new manifold gasket and a new manifold to front pipe gasket because they're both leaking. Again. Alright, they're all broken free. Allergies. I was so close to buying a whole new exhaust manifold. Just straight pipe it from the exhaust all the way down to the muffler. But I decided to be budget friendly and only go with $9 worth of parts instead of like $200 worth of parts. Because the whole point of me doing all this is to make the ride a nice and comfortable ride, to be able to go to the Renaissance Fair this weekend with the kids. There we go. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, we could see where it was leaking right there and right there. Oh, right there. So you can see where it was getting the blow by from. So we got that on the way. And secondly, I have the, I actually don't know what size these are. So we're gonna have to figure it out. Feels like maybe a 17. I'm probably way off. Oh shit, I was right. Wait, that's tight, or that's loose because I'm upside down. Very confusing. Hoo-wee. You can't see that. I honestly don't know how I'm going to get to these other two bolts with a traditional set up like this without just doing it from underneath the car. Maybe I'll get lucky. Okay, I'm going to take the dipstick out real quick. Nice thing about exhaust bolts is they can be heavily heat corroded, but for the most part, once you get them loose, they're pretty easy. I actually might take the engine mount off to do this better next time. Like when I'm reassembling it, because it'll give me better access to these bolts when I'm tightening them all down. If these match here, and it appears they do other than corrosion, I'm going to go buy new bolts and get this one's a little bit shorter so I don't use so many washers because that's ridiculous. So I'll do that next. Got one last one here. And this is the most difficult one, of course. Save the worst for last, right? We got it. All right, we got that big off. So you can see the collector there. It's a 4-2. And this is crazy, but there's literally not even a gasket on it. So they must have just disintegrated, which makes sense because this thing runs very rich and likes to backfire for funsies. My starter's been acting up as well, so I'm kind of checking that out right now just to make sure all the connections are good. It does have a solenoid engagement issue, but only when it's hot, which is kind of a thing on these because we can see that there's a kind of old school design, but you have the starter nested underneath and around, like the exhaust wraps around the starter. So if you're out driving, it's just heat soaking the heck out of the starter. So I just have to wait for it to cool down to get going again. So yeah, we got gaskets on the way, and we'll put them in.